And hello and good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv. B-O-L-E-S dot, a T and a V. Appearing for now, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Who knows if we can continue that schedule or make it longer or make it shorter. We just don't know. We're going day by day and moment by moment. Few changes. Every day we have a few changes to discuss in what's going on in this live stream. And we have rejiggered, I think that is the technical term, how we play our music. We used to play our music via Streamlabs and via their app, how we broadcast to you. But sometimes it just doesn't seem to work. And the music providers say, hey, the problem is not with us. The problem is the way that Streamlabs handles the music. They have to use a plugin, you have to get approved for the plugin, so if you find something wrong in the way the stream is working, you just can't fix it yourself. If you're the music company, you have to fix it and then submit it to Streamlabs, who then, I guess, updates the plugin, which sounds like a long and arduous process. So they say instead of doing that, just go to the web and play our music on the web. And we have 3 streaming services. We use Monster Cat Gold, we use Pretzel Rocks, and our main one is Slip.stream. Mainly because Slip.stream covers all of your licensing, all video on demand, all commercial use of anything that you do, and if you get a DMCA hit, they will take care of it for you. Except when it comes to Twitch. Now, if Twitch hits you with a mute, they just mute 6 minutes of your audio if they believe that you have violated something in their AI algorithm. So that's 6 minutes, I have discovered, that you will never get back. Because unlike YouTube, you can dispute on YouTube, and after 30 days, if the other party doesn't respond, you're cleared, and they release it. On Twitch, you dispute it, and it never gets released. And I'm not the only one, and I only have it a couple of times, because I'm very careful. But other people say it's been, 2 years since they said, look, it's my own music. And you muted it. Please unmute Twitch. It's mine. And they don't do it. So I used to play the music in the Edge browser, the Microsoft Edge browser. And now I'm playing it just in Chrome, but I have a lot of Chrome windows open, so I worry about resources a little bit. But maybe on Windows 11 it's not too bad. Although my desktop keeps refreshing and the icons keep refreshing, and I know it's some rogue application that is messing with me, and I don't know what it is. I know how to stop it, but I don't know what starts it. And I can't stop it right now because we're in the middle of a live stream. So it is easier to play the music via a web interface. And when we use our Wavelink software to, how do you say it? Stream. You only have 2 audio inputs in Streamlabs. And I think 3 or 4 microphone inputs in Streamlabs. So that means if you're not using the Elgato Wavelink as they intended, which is everything you have is in the mixer and it gets sent as one stream and go. Well, that doesn't work right now under Windows 11. You have to insert each audio source you want via Elgato Wavelink, and then it works. But that means I have this, my microphone, and then I have 2 audio inputs into Streamlabs. One of them was browser, which is just everything that plays in a browser. YouTube, a video, something like that. And we don't have a lot of audio there because we can't really play anything on YouTube that has audio. And the second one was what I called music. And I associated that with Microsoft Edge. And then in Windows, you have to set up the source, the audio source for Chrome and Edge, and you tell it it's Elgato Wavelink. It sounds more complicated than it really is, but no, it really is complicated. So it's all complicated. So I realized yesterday, after the show was over, that if I wanted to try to indicate an easy way of having live chat associated with this live stream, I would have to set it up on Discord, create a voice channel, which I have done, and we are now streaming live to Discord as well. But I would have to remove one of my audio channels in Streamlabs. So I decided to, in Streamlabs only, I left it in Wavelink, remove the Edge browser as a source. Just make the browser the source of this music you're hearing now, so we are playing music. And then I added a voice chat channel and associated that with Discord. And when in Windows 11, set up Discord to use the Elgato Wavelink, tested it yesterday, and it appeared to work. So if you are so inclined, and if you have a Discord account, and if you don't have a Discord account, you can get one. I'll type in an invitation. And then you join Discord. You join our server. There is the link to our server. You can click on it and chat. And then you can go to our voice channel, click on that, and then we can have a voice conversation as we are streaming right here together. Now, I don't know if there's a lag if you watch, the show on video and then you're in chat and there's a little bit of a lag. I don't know, but I see people do it on Twitch quite a lot. And it seems like everything's in sync because they're having live conversation while they're playing games. And we're not playing any games, so there's nothing like, hey, he's behind you, shoot him. It's just me and you. And so here is what it looks like on Discord. So you can see this is our voice channel. We are connected right now. This is our server with the cat. This is my account down here at the bottom. And all you do is a voice channel, and you just click on the channel and you're joined, and you're there. And you can, I believe, listen to the show and also chat back if you are so inclined. So that's the excitement for the day. And my desktop keeps refreshing and freaking me out, and I was watching one streamer on Twitch today before we started the show, and he's a major streamer, plays a lot of games, best equipment, excellent setup. Glitching. Couldn't figure out why. He said, well, I guess it's a Twitch server problem. And I'm thinking, oh no, we're going live in 10 minutes. We might start glitching. So if we're glitching, let me know. I don't know what I can do about it, but you can let me know. So the Will Smith thing has become an interesting and strange event. There's really no other way around it. And in a bad kind of way. And so the Academy now has stepped forward and said, hey, we don't like this. We don't like what's going on. So we're going to make this big protest. The Academy condemns Will Smith's actions and launches a review. Now, you and I know nothing's going to happen out of this review. And after this review was launched, then Will Smith suddenly apologizes to Chris Rock, which he should have done immediately after he bitch slapped him. But this is all for show. This is all, we care about violence and we care about what's going on stage. And Will Smith's not going to give back his Oscar. And the Academy is not going to take back his Oscar. It's all just a big pile of ridiculousness. And as we said on the live stream yesterday, Will and Jada Pinkett have been in Hollywood for, 25 years. They're used to this. They know people don't like them. They know people love them. They know what's going on. So to be insulted and to defend your wife's honor on stage by bitch slapping another guy is just ridiculous. And what I find really hilarious is that Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? The right-wing radical wacko, has come to the defense of Will Smith and said it's wonderful that he supports his wife and defended her honor from the likes of Chris Rock. To that I say, I'm sure that Will Smith would give back his Academy Award if Marjorie Taylor Greene would take back her compliment of him. I can guarantee you that is not one person that Will Smith wants on his side. So the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences on Monday condemned the actions of Will Smith during Sunday night's Oscars and launched an inquiry into his bitch slapping of presenter Chris Rock. In a statement Monday, the Film Academy said the Academy condemns the actions of Mr. Smith in last night's show. We've officially started a formal review around the incident and will explore further action and consequences in accordance with our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law. Come on now. Nothing's going to happen. And it doesn't matter if Jada has alopecia. You don't raise your hand to anybody and you don't strike somebody. You can have a conversation with them, and if Will Smith had gone on stage and spoken very seriously and said, Chris, don't say that about my wife, and went back and sat down, okay, better. But you raise your hand and you lose the upper hand. Some Academy members, like writer-producer Marshall Herskovich, called for the Academy to take disciplinary action against Smith. He disgraced our entire community. Whoopi Goldberg, infamously of The View, who does not think that Jewish people are a race, and now she has changed her mind, said on The View, we're not going to take that Oscar from him. There will be consequences, I'm sure. And there's no way that they're going to take the Oscar from Will Smith. It's politically impossible. A sense of disbelief hung in the air at the Dolby Theater after Smith's assault, and it didn't dissipate Monday. Not only was it hard to fathom break with decorum on live national television, an incident so dramatic, even movie-like, that many initially assumed it was a staged bit. It seemed wildly out of character for one of Hollywood's most relentlessly upbeat stars. And I guess this is kind of where all the hatred started. But, Chris Rock had joked about Pinkett Smith before. He hosted the 2016 Oscars when some were boycotting the ceremony over the Oscars' so white group of nominees, including the Smiths. Said Rock, Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited. Now that's the truth. How can you get mad at Chris Rock for that? It's funny. People get full of themselves, and they think they're really important, and they think that the world cannot revolve without them in it, and they are the center and the sun to all of us. And when reality hits them, or you could say even bitch slaps them, then they kind of get a clue to what's really going on. And as I said yesterday, if someone wants to go bitch slap Chris Rock, it should have been Jada Pinkett, not Will. Maybe the world might not like how it went down, but for me, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Because it made me believe that there are still men out there that love and care about their women, their wives, Tiffany Haddish told People magazine. I mean, that is just the most incredibly vile thing I've ever heard anybody say. Encouraging violence in the name of protecting the poor, feeble woman who can't stand on her own or speak for herself. That's where that's coming from. Just ridiculous. So, after this happened, Will Smith apologized. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to go on stage and slap you and then curse at you from the audience. Here's some news. Scary news. Now, in America, we are very weak in many ways when it comes to doing the right thing and protecting each other because people don't want to do it. They don't think they have to do it. I don't understand why, but that's the way it goes. So people now say, oh, COVID's over. Let's go out and play. Take off our masks. Pretend like it never happened. We have to get back to normal. Well, we'll see about that. Especially with a second booster coming for people who are over age 50. Now, why have a second booster if it's over? And the answer is, it really hasn't even started yet. Will Omicron finally overpower China's COVID defenses? Scary stuff in China. All eyes are on China as it attempts to quash its largest COVID-19 outbreaks since the early days of the pandemic. More than 62,000 people across all 31 of its provinces are infected. Most of them with the fast-spreading Omicron 2 variant, which I don't think we even have a vaccine for yet. Oh boy. The outbreaks, and this is from yesterday. This is not something that's old from 6 months ago. The outbreaks have plunged tens of millions of people into lockdown in China. President Xi Jinping announced earlier this month that China would stick to its dynamic zero-COVID strategy, which aims to stamp out infections and prevent the virus from spreading throughout communities. This policy now stands in contrast towards global trends to easing restrictions and attempting to coexist. Coexist with a circulating virus. Just idiotic. China's hardline approach, eliminating COVID-19, seems to be softening. In his speech, Xi Jinping also flagged a more pragmatic strategy, asking that officials limit the economic impact of control measures. In practice, that means that people with asymptomatic cases of COVID are being sent to dedicated isolation centers rather than hospitals, and are monitored for shorter periods of time than previously required. But some researchers are divided about whether the virus will spread out of control before the government has time to prepare. So China is still struggling with this, and if it's in China, I can tell you right now, it's already in the United States. But I think the government is so terrified to let us know that they just hold their hands and pray. China's large domestic economy has made a zero-COVID strategy more sustainable than it has been in places with smaller populations, such as New Zealand and Singapore. But it can't last forever. The stock market index is falling, suggesting that China's economy is suffering, and that disruptive outbreaks will become more frequent as the virus circulates freely everywhere. So I don't know what we're going to do here in the good old USA, when this thing comes storming back into our lives, are we going to go back on lockdown? No. People won't put up with it, although that's what should happen. Are people going to get tested? No. Biden sent out free home kits for testing. A year too late. We received ours. We haven't used it yet. But this is what's coming. This is the status of life in America. We live in fear, and yet we're just a little bit strange and sad that we don't want to stand up and do the right thing and isolate and not interact. And now we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break. Back in a moment. And we're back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv, BOLES.TV. And we are here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And now we're going to play a little bit of chess, have a little bit of fun here. It's been a while since we tested ourselves live here with you on a Chessable. And Chessable is a wonderful training tool. But it's difficult because the moves are timed. So I try to make a move within, I think it's a 30-second thermometer that ticks down. I'm out of time. But that's how you learn. So we're doing a 6-step puzzle, which is a good thing, but it's also a little bit tough because 6 is a lot of moves to try to get right. Here we go. Can I make this slightly bigger? Yes, I can. White to play. Okay, so this is going to be a rook move. I thought I saw this yesterday, but maybe it didn't. A lot of these puzzles get very similar in taste and feel, and then you make a big mistake and you don't know what you're doing. So I think this rook has to go down here. Excuse me, and with the king in check. And the king will take, but that's okay. That was the correct move, actually. So now, do you want to move your queen here and put the king in check? Or do you just want to move your rook over and put the check on? That's the question. These are difficult times in which we live, and these are the questions that haunt us morning, noon, and night. And I'm running out of time. They tend to like a queen move. So I've got to make something, so I'll make it a queen move. We'll see what happens. Ah, that was the right move. Shocking! So that's 2 moves out of 6, so we got a long, long way to go. Now, we just can't go here and here, because it puts the king in check, but the king will just take. I would prefer to go here to back up the queen. But the thinking might be that's a wasted move. Excuse me. I could make a pawn move up, but that doesn't make sense. I'm calling this a prophylactic move, and it's probably wrong, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm running out of time. Nope, wouldn't let me do it. Yeah, they wanted a pawn move. All right. So, they're not going to let me move on until I make the correct move, which is this to that. Okay, fine. Now they're putting my queen in check. In trouble, not check. And it's a very smart move because if I move my queen here to put the king in check, then the knight takes. That's not a good move. So I have to move my queen. Somehow, somewhere, some way. Or I can just take with this pawn, which is probably the best thing to do, which I believe what I am going to do. That worked. And the computer never thinks about the next move. The computer moves instantly. So now the temptation is, of course, now that the knight is gone, move here, king's in check, king can really only move there, and then I would move down here. And it should be over. But who knows? You never know with these puzzles because they try to trick you. But that's what I'm going to do. Queen here. He moves, okay, and then I believe my final move is here to win the puzzle. And I won the puzzle. My accuracy was 83%, which is not terrific. But it's better than nothing, as they say in the trade. Now we have a shorter puzzle. 4 moves, and 4 moves only. White to play. And I'm running out of time, and I'm not even know. They like a queen sacrifice. That's the only thing I can think of that is something that's at least sort of active. I will try. Yeah, that's what they like. So then it's got to be here. They always want that king in check. Now you normally would want to go right here and just call it a day. But that can't happen because there's no protection. It would just be taken. So that's not going to happen. So I believe this needs to be a bishop move. Here to here. King in check. Protected by the rook. It's what I'm going to guess. That was the correct move. Now what? Aha! Now we can make our move here. The move I wanted to make. Here to here. King's in check. And it's almost over. But there's going to have to be one more move because the king is going to go here, and then the bishop has to go there. Here we go. Moving now. Oh my goodness. I like my plan better. I'm not sure I understand the move, but okay. So the bishop goes here, revealing a check from this rook. And then I guess the king has no way out. And it's over. Okay, so mine added an extra step. Whatever. One more. White to play. There's the king. So, I think the easiest move is this to this, this to this to that. And we'll see what happens. Yes, that was correct. Okay, now what? Now, I believe it's the queen here. Putting the king in check. Protected by her own king. It's a possibility. Could be interesting. Could be a violation of space and time. I really don't know. It's difficult to know how all of this works, but I'll try. So this goes here. Boom. Nope. That's not what they wanted. Oh, I hate that. So they want right here, and then it takes. I don't know if I understand that. But I guess I go here? No, they want the queen to move. Oh boy. I should have stopped while I was ahead in the other puzzle. And now they want this move. Oh boy, 50% accuracy. That's just terrible. No way around that one. Not a good day of the old chess tournament. This is a puzzle from yesterday. Trusting your gut. White to move. I don't understand the hint. The hints are sort of obscure, so you shouldn't get all tied up in them. White to move. Oh boy. And the white king is in trouble. So big things are going to have to start happening fast, or we're not going to have a good game. Whew. White to move. White to move where? Now, this isn't timed, so I can take all day on this one. And I just might, because it's going to be terribly painful. Wow. And my music just stopped, and I don't know why. Sometimes it happens. Now, I don't need a hint on this yet. But white to move. So this bishop cannot move because puts the king in check. This knight is protecting this bishop. So I really can't move that knight either, or the queen will just take. So that tells me it has to be a queen move somehow. But I'm not sure how or why. Well, I'm wondering if I should make this a knight move. Go here to here. Let me clear the board. Go here to here. And that puts the king in check. It also threatens the bishop, but the pawn will just take. And then what? Well, we'll try it. We'll see what happens. Oh, that was the right move. So, my gut, like it or not, is telling me to go here to here and put the king in check. And the only place the king can go is backward, because this pawn is protecting that square. So, that's sort of possible. Sort of possible. I will try. No, not the right move. Ah. Needs to be this move, because then the queen is protected by the pawn. And then what happens? Where does the king go? I think that's it, because the king, because the king can't go there. Right, so that's what it is. Okay, so it's queen to here. King is in check. Pawn protects the queen. King can't go there. In check. Can't go there. In check. Okay, that's it. I win the puzzle. It's got to be. That's it. Painful. But this is the fun, right? This is why we're all together. Trying to figure it out. How are we doing on our puzzle doing? Oh, we've missed a lot of days. You see all those days we missed that don't have the green check mark? Those are days when we were all the down days, as you'd say about Christy Brown. All the down days where we were dealing with the terrible, unfortunate Windows 11 reinstall and figuring out of where we are and where we're going. And we still have no idea where we're going, and we don't know what we're doing here. So what else is new? Maybe we'll try one more puzzle from the 16th. Landing a knockout. Okay. Black to move, so we're playing black pieces. Landing a knockout. I have no idea what any of that ever means. So we are the black pieces. So we'll just look at what's going on. So here, can we move this piece? Move this piece up? No, because then that takes, and it's going to queen go like that. We cannot go like this and take 2 steps because they're going to en passant us. Can't do that. The bishop, interesting, but it's on the wrong color to be any kind of threat to the king. This knight is stuck. It's not going anywhere. The king is not going anywhere. Now, this could be interesting. 1 step up, a threat to queen, but then the knight just takes. Why is the knight taking? Okay, so the knight just takes. That doesn't make sense. And if we go down here, put the king in check, which is very lovely, well, then that knight just takes again. It's a very powerful knight. It's a very powerful knight, which is not a good thing. So I'm thinking, looking at this, that maybe it's a rook move from here to here that puts pressure on the king to do something. I sort of like that because it puts a king in check and then the king's going to move and then we can do something more dramatic. I'll try. Oh boy, not the right move. Well, this one, I'm sort of out of ideas. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. What can you move? I'll get a hint. It is a rook move. So that instinct was correct. So is it here to here? No. Is it here all the way down? Oh my gosh, but then the knight can't take. I don't get that. Maybe I do, because now the pawn takes a step forward. And a step forward, and you have a queen, and you win the puzzle. Oh! That was harder than it should have been. But hey, we figured it out. Now we're going to talk about our old friend AOC. I have to say there's something that's very interesting about these progressives in the Democrat Party. Bernie, Elizabeth Warren, AOC, they seem to have their finger on the pulse of what real Americans want. And not the extremes, but the middle. They want to be taken care of. They want to be protected. They want to know that they're going to be safe, that their student loans are not going to kill them, that they can afford to make payments, that they can eat. It seems like there are only 3 people in all of Congress who care about those things. And AOC has a warning for Democrats, and she's 100% right. We are in trouble. There's a midterm election coming up. And Joe Biden is going to start student loan repayments at the end of May. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. And Joe Biden is not a great leader. He was, as this article is going to suggest, rolled by Joe Manchin. And now we have nothing. Nothing. Now they can find billions of dollars to send to Ukraine, but they can't find any kind of money to get rid of student loans. Representative AOC thinks President Biden got played by Senator Joe Manchin. Oh, and it's true. and that the president's nostalgia for a bygone era of backroom deal-making could prove disastrous for Democrats in the midterms. And we're already seeing this disaster play out in the likes of Merrick Garland. And I wrote an article. I said, Merrick Garland will not save us. And Merrick Garland is in the news, and people are reading that article, that bolesblogs.com article about the sadness that is Merrick Garland. Sitting in her campaign office, she says this matter-of-factly, as if bucking the explicit orders of her party's leaders, up to and including the President of the United States. Oh, it's not a big deal, but it is. AOC is one of only 6 Democrats to vote against Biden's $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill last November. She reasoned, correctly it turned out, that severing the infrastructure spending from Biden's much larger Build Back Better proposal would allow the bigger bill to be killed. In the closely divided Senate, by the defection, and that is what it is, a defection, of 2 conservative Democrat senators, Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. OC says, I think there's a real nostalgia and a belief that time still exists and we can get back to that. But those days, she says, have been over for a long time. And that's true. These old Democrats don't seem to understand that the old GOP people hate them and want to see them dead and gone, and they will do anything they can to win. And the Democrats just turn the other cheek, Christ-like, and say, hit me again, please. Please fly in Will Smith to bitch slap us a few more times, because we're never going to understand what's really going on. That the GOP and their people, their followers, want us off the face of the earth. It is a bloody, terroristic war of attrition. And the conservatives are winning. But those days, she says, have been over for a long time, and the fact that Biden and others don't realize it, AOC says, could spell disaster for the fall's elections. With Biden's low approval numbers and historic tendency of the president's party to lose, on average, 26 House seats in the midterms, the Democrats face an uphill battle to keep control of Congress. A situation that requires firing up the party's progressive base. Absolutely true. And it's not going to happen because Biden doesn't think he needs them. He thinks he's beloved by everybody because he's old Joe. He plays right down the middle. We need to acknowledge that this isn't about middle of the road, an increasingly narrow band of independent voters. This is really about the collapse of support among young people, among the Democrat base who are feeling that they worked overtime to get this president elected and aren't being seen, AOC says. Absolutely right. If the president does pursue and start to govern decisively using executive action and other tools at his disposal, I think we're in the game. But if we decide to just kind of sit back for the rest of the year and not change people's lives, yeah, I think we're in trouble. I don't think it's set in stone. I think we can determine our destiny here. But she's right. Biden is whistling while the GOP are playing hardball. And they're ramming it down the Democrat throats. And what can they do? In nearly every aspect of politics that matters, re-election itself, fundraising ability, grooming younger politicians, staying in the national spotlight, AOC is considerably more powerful now than when she exploded on the scene in 2018. Should that trend continue, imagine what things will look like if AOC remains in Congress until she reaches the average age of a member of the House, 57 years old. And that would happen in 2046. And by then, her seemingly fight-the-power thinking style and positions could be the norm in New York politics. Don't say you didn't see it coming. And we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break and then return and talk about AOC a bit tangentially, in that she set a whole new semiotic for political campaigning. And one of my original blogs used to be called Urban Semiotic, and it was about things that we recognize, shapes, scenes, angles, colors, that define the landscape of an urban city. And we will return with that in a moment. We are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. BOLES.TV. And we are also now live streaming into our voice chat channel on Discord. So if you have Discord, you can go right in there and we can chat live while the stream is happening. It's innovation. It's a technological achievement. Does it work? Of course. Do we know how and why? No. But here we are, trying to make sense of the world in which we spin. So before the break, we were talking about the lovely and talented AOC and how she's very worried about the midterm elections. And she should be, because there's really no hope. Nothing, absolutely nothing is being done proactively by the Democrats to say why they should remain in power. There's no big Build Back Better program. Student loans are a mess. People don't have money. We have the Omicron B variant 2 coming from China. It's just going to be a disaster. And who do we have to blame for it? Who do we have to thank for it? Unfortunately, it's Big Joe Biden, because that's how the world works. So, talking about AOC, we have this wonderful article in the New York Times about how she set the new standard for getting elected when it comes to propaganda, PR, advertising. Political designers say Representative AOC's campaign logo has come to convey insurgency, youth, diversity, and liberalism. And that is her campaign logo, I guess, from days gone by. And this is her very famous initial logo that's slanted, right? An urban semiotic, if you will. New York, 14th District. Alexandria Ocasio with the upside down exclamation points. Very good. Cortez. And this is where the New York Times really shines. I mean, they have a big staff. They can put writers, reporters in Ukraine and Russia report back. They have that power, that reach, that touch. And they also have a great design team where you can take something like this and rejigger it and have it become a very interesting, interactive, scrolling conversation about politics and semiotics. Candidates across the country and even internationally have appropriated elements of AOC's condensed and bold typeface and its upward-sloping dialogue box design. Fabulous. Imitations and inspirations have appeared in governor's race in Virginia, Kentucky, elementary school in Queens, even a campaign by a communist candidate in France. And here are the examples. Jennifer McLean for president. The trend is perhaps more intense in, and around New York, where local races are littered with candidates who have tilted the text on their logos upward. So this shows really how people are ripping her off. But is it a ripoff or is it the sincerest form of flattery, imitation? I'll let you decide. But I agree that these are pretty good logos. The slant is a little much, but they're catchy. They make you read them. They get your eye going. Is it stealing or is it just borrowing an idea? Including two candidates running for the same city council seat that overlaps with Miss Ocasio-Cortez's district. So these two people that are highlighted, Julie Wan and Jesse Lehman, both slanting, both trying to connect to the AOC vibe, which I have to say is very smart if you're a Democrat. If it works, it works. Some campaigns even adjusted their original, more straightforward logos to her slant shortly after she won her primary. And here you go. Jumaine Williams, all in a line. Now, he's all tilted. Jumaine Williams for lieutenant governor. It's a better logo. I agree. It works. And then they talk about Trump and another logo, the distinctive AOC typography. Even has found itself on T-shirts sold by politicians in both parties, serving as visual shorthand of sorts for the left. Senator Bernie Sanders' Green New Deal T-shirt features bold, slanted typography. A shirt for Sarah Huckabee Sanders' campaign for governor features a similar aesthetic to mock the left. Yeah, the Chia, they just love to mock and make fun of liberals. It's weird because there's really not the same sort of hatred on the other side. So it's like they're screaming into the wind, you know, talking to each other in not very interesting conversations. Here are more examples. Miss Ocasio-Cortez's campaign poster for the Democrat Party in 2018 on the left. And Ian Brosset of France used slanted text in bold colors in a losing bid for the European Parliament. It's fabulous. Now that's just a straight steal. But I have to say, it is very effective. And the eyes looking up and out is very, very, very interesting. And it helps in the case of Miss AOC that you are incredibly, incredibly interesting to look at. Another slant, New York 17, Democrat for Congress. Not all imitators were intentional. The logo for Mondaire Jones, a progressive that Miss AOC endorsed last year, tilts upward, but his campaign manager said it was produced by a volunteer. And any similarity was unintended. Oh, come on now. Now that's just ridiculous. Especially if you're a friend of AOC's. Don't diss her success by saying, oh, I didn't know. Botcher, a council candidate in Manhattan, had simply asked his political team to create a look that was something straightforward-facing and hopeful and exuberant and energetic. And this is what they came up with. They copied AOC. But it's a good-looking logo. Many, here we go, knowingly embrace her design. It was intentional for me, said Jesse Lehman, a Democrat running for city council in Queens. The slant is AOC inspired. There you go. Give her credit. She has a good team around her. She knows what the heck she's doing. And I guess a competitor of AOC's, this is her original primary logo here on the left from 2020. And this is how she changed it in 2021. Slanted. Looking up and to the left. I'm thinking about myself. So there you go, AOC. Breaking barriers and setting trends. If we all couldn't be so lucky. Yesterday, we forgot to check on the price of Ethereum. And we've been doing it all the time, but I was so excited to see if my mic was working that I lost track of myself. But everything worked out then, and everything's working out now. Now, here's what's the interesting part is yesterday, Ethereum was at $3,600. And if you've been following this at all, you know that's big. That's massive. Usually, Ethereum hangs around 3,000. And for 2 weeks, it's been tanking at 2,500. And that was the time to buy Ethereum and time to buy and hold Ethereum. And if you wanted to, time to buy NFTs, non-fungible token art or whatever, because the price was low. And the creators of the non-fungible token art were very upset because they were getting tanked. Their floors were getting swept because the price of Ethereum was so low, almost $1,000 off from where it is right now. $2,500. Now it's $3,500. So there was a window of about 2 weeks where if you had a little bit of money and you wanted to scoop up some really, really, really great artwork, NFTs, you could get it for a steal. Now, not so much. Now I say to you, hold everything. Hold your Ethereum. Don't buy any more Ethereum. Wait for it to go back down. Don't buy an NFT at this high price. Bitcoin, as you can see, is fantastically up. $47,000 for one Bitcoin. $47,000 for one Bitcoin. It's shocking and amazing. And it hovers usually around 42, 40, around there is an okay price. And the last 2 weeks, it was like 36, 38,000. Now it's back up. All trends are looking good. But when you talk NFTs and when you're talking Ethereum, you cannot have that conversation without looking at the gas price. And the gas price for Ethereum is rocking you. Now they're moving to Ethereum 2, so gas prices will be around 2 or 3 cents per transaction. But right now, it's $23. So if you buy something on Ethereum, like an NFT, for $100, you will have to pay a gas tax, a delivery fee of right now $23. And it's always changing, so if the gas price is too high, just stop what you're doing, come back half an hour later, and see if the gas price has gone down. It's dangerous because you can get trapped in a circle. You can get trapped in a Mobius strip of trying to figure out, well, should I wait or should I buy? And my advice to you is, if it's reasonable, just buy. But if it's $125, as for some reason it was last week, I've seen it as high as $80. I have paid $80 in the past to get something fast. That's a high fee. So 23 is not bad. The lowest I think we've seen here on the live stream is around $8. And the highest was $125. Can you imagine that? You're going to buy an NFT for $100 and you check out and you're told your gas fee is $125. So a $100 NFT costs you $225. It's unsustainable, as they say. And speaking of art, oh my. Warhol's Marilyn Monroe portrait goes on the block for $200 million. Now, that's just totally, interestingly ridiculous. That people are paying $200 million, $400, $500, $600 million for artwork. And this is physical artwork. Only one of a kind. This is not NFT. Although I bet if you made an NFT of this and sold it, you could make a lot of money. And you were just selling one of them. Just like they did with the Mickey Mantle rookie baseball card. Made an NFT out of it. And only made one. And it sold for what? Over $400,000. It's very, very shocking. A 3-foot square silkscreen from 1964 depicts a promotional photo from the actress's film Niagara. The artist transformed the actress into a pop art icon by giving her a bubblegum pink face, ruby lips, and blue eyeshadow set against a sage blue background. The work is part of a signature series of Shot Marilyn, portraits made famous after a gun-toting visitor allegedly fired a shot into a stack of canvases in the artist's studio in 1964. If successful, this example will smash the artist's current auction record of $105 million. Set 9 years ago when Sotheby's sold 1963's silver car crash double disaster. Potential bidders will need to spend far more to surpass private sales of Warhol's work. In 2017, hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin paid the estate of publishing magnate Cy Newhouse at least $200 million for the orange version from the same Shot Maryland series. And these are just silk screens. It's really shockingly amazing. So traditional art is doing just as well as NFTs. And speaking of art and money and ways of communicating and getting things done faster, if you have Discord, you can connect by a QR code. If you have WhatsApp, you can connect your phone and your computer using a QR code. And now they're getting scammed. During the Super Bowl in February, one ad grabbed a lot of attention. A mysterious bouncing QR code that enticed viewers to point their phones at their screens and click through to an unknown website, which is dangerous right there. Spoiler alert, it was for Coinbase. Within seconds, more than 20 million people had done just that, crashing the cryptocurrency exchange platform. Funny. The incident illustrated just how willing people are to click on QR codes. But unfortunately for consumers, marketers aren't the only group that understands this. 2 months before, in December, a much darker scenario involving QR codes unfolded when malicious actors placed QR code stickers on parking meters in major Texas cities, directing drivers to a fraudulent website where they supposedly could pay for parking. Genius. We've talked about this before. The criminal mind is just a fascinating and fantastic beast. They spend so much time trying to figure out how to rip people off instead of helping people. And their reward is all of this big money that they keep raking in. And I've said, why can't they turn that around and have their criminal mind create things for the good, for the world? They're not listening. They want the easy way out. People were tricked into putting in their credit card information. It was a really well-done attack. While QR code scams are not common, risks are rising. Security researchers say the Better Business Bureau's Scam Tracker site lists just 46 QR code-related attacks in the U.S. since March of 2020. But as consumers become more accustomed to using QR codes, there has been a 750% increase in QR code downloads since around March 2020, according to link management software Bitly. Security officials expect more attacks. The FBI even released a statement in mid-January about QR code schemes to raise awareness. And this is how it works. In a typical scenario, scammers post a notice, often posing as a business or other organization that people recognize and trust. That includes a quick response code, a QR code, a type of matrix barcode that stores information. When scanned with a camera or an app, the code leads to a web page that might ask unsuspecting users to enter personal information, such as a credit card, which is then stolen, or it may install malware to gain access to victims' devices in perpetuity. And the great thing is that the QR code is frictionless. You have it out there. You're not asking people to scan it. You're not forcing people to scan it. They're doing it by their own free choice. So in the end, I guess, they get what they deserve. Some might argue. Most legitimate QR codes are not a sticker someone has added on. A parking meter scam in Houston, for example, sent users to a now-defunct passportlab.xyz website that then directed them to log into a quick pay parking system. That should have been a red flag right there, since a legitimate QR code from a city would likely lead the user to a municipal website, usually ending in .gov or .org, or to an obviously city-run app, typically advertised as being printed on a metal and fixed to a pole. When in doubt, go old school. QR codes usually have redundant options, so ask for a printed menu or ask to pay with cash. Anything that can be encoded will figure out how to turn into a scam. So they've been warned. And a lot of people are just starting to get used to QR codes. They've been around forever. They're gaining more popularity because the smartphones can now, by default, in the phone app, can read a QR code and send you to the website. So it makes it very convenient. And also super duper easy for people to step in and try to steal your money and to trick you. And unfortunately, people are into that now. So try to protect yourself. Don't click where you don't want to go. And even if you think you want to go there, think again, because you probably don't want to. And now we take our final blood pressure break of the day, and we'll be back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv, BOLES.tv. We are here with you live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And we also have a voice-connected Discord server now. You can join us on Discord and chat with me live right here in the live stream. Could be interesting, could be dangerous, but we live on the edge and we're going to make it work. So I've been thinking a lot about photographs and computers and things of yesterday and where we are and where we're going. And my question to you today is, how do you feel about old photographs that are digitally transferred into the new age of digital imaging? Now, I'm talking about photographs from the 70s and 80s where you had a film camera, you took a picture, and you had it developed, and you brought home prints, paper prints of the photograph. And those photographs were perhaps shared between a few people, and that was it. Now today, with the digital camera, you live in a very dangerous world of video and shot taking, where people take pictures of you and video of you and put it on the internet, and what can you do about it? And now in the view of Facebook and Instagram and social media and web pages, there are people who are constructively going back in time 30, 40 years, finding old photographs of people. And the easiest way to digitize an old photograph is with the new cameras today is just take a picture of it. And they are then taking those old, forgotten photographs that may be private and reposting them, giving them a whole new life and intention and violation of privacy in the digital world. Now, how do you feel about that? Is it just ridiculousness? Is it something that is of concern? Do you want people re-realizing images of you and how you used to look 40 years ago, good or bad, now posted on the internet without your permission? It's what's happening, and it's happening quite a lot. And the people doing the posting and the publishing don't care. They say, hey, it's my photograph, it's not your photograph. Well, I'm the subject of the photograph. Well, you're a public person. Or whatever. It's not just me, it's everybody. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's a victim of this. And I find it sort of discouraging. Because the proper thing is to say, hey, look, I have all these photographs. I've now digitized them. This is what they are. I'll send you a copy. What do you think? Can I post them on my Facebook page? Now, the normal thing to be would the person who was receiving the images says, thank you so much. I'm posting them on my Facebook page because they're my photographs. They're photographs of me. They're not photographs of you. Why would you want 50 photographs of me on your Facebook page? Unless you're trying to get views and other people commenting on the photographs of people that you no longer hang out with. It's kind of an interesting conundrum, and not one I'm sure that anybody other than me cares about. But I brought it up as a topic of conversation. And if you have something to say, find me on Twitter, david@boles.com. David at David Boles. You can email me at david@boles.tv or david@boles.com too. But we're not finishing the show yet because we're going to finish with a fun game that I find sort of impossible to play called Slither. We're going to change the skin. Now, this is where you're a worm and you try to eat other bits of light so you can grow and then eventually eat other worms, which I find curious and just a little strange. And we're playing for God, freedom, and America. And you cannot bump into another worm or you lose the game. And this is a very slow game. It's hard to win because you're a little tiny worm. And other people are trying to hope that you will bump into them so they can then eat you because you have all these bright stars that come out. I won. I got that person. I got that worm. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. And this is really terrible on your wrist. So if you have carpal tunnel, because you're leading this, whatever it is, worm, you're leading this worm with your mouse. And you can go a little bit faster if you click. But you have to keep eating, because if you stop eating, then you're in big trouble because you start not being big anymore. Oh, I'm getting in trouble. Don't go up there. Those are all the big ones are. Oh, I almost crashed. See, I was getting a little too cocky in my accelerated running. And see, I'm already losing. You just got to keep eating or you start getting smaller and smaller, and you want to be a great big one so that everybody crashes into you. And then you can turn around and eat them and eat their remains. I just lost a game and they're eating me. I will try again. I thought it was better than that, but I guess not. Oh, there's a multicolor one. That's very pretty. Oh, and I'm going to bump right into him. See, I'm so slow because I'm so tiny. Oh, I'm here with all the big ones. I got to get out of here. There are too many of them. Now, when you get to be big, I have learned that you can actually, go around in circles on yourself and not get in trouble. But it's very, very dangerous because you risk, when you turn on yourself, of bumping into somebody that you can't see. Oh, there's a big one right there. Oh, stay away from that. Oh, no, they just crashed, and now we can eat all their bits. We can eat all their pieces. Oh, and I just crashed, and they just crashed. Everybody's crashing. One more time. Oh, gosh. I never should have gone into that neighborhood. Too many big sluthers up there. And I don't even know how you win the game. I don't know if it's possible to win the game. I'm just trying to survive, really. Oop! Now, see, when people bump into you like that, you got to turn around real fast and eat them. And I didn't do that. I didn't do it. See, now you slow down. If you don't get these things, you slow down, and you can't go fast. And you do sort of want to go fast because that's how you keep your speed up. And that's how you get your length. I don't even know what that moving thing is. I want to go after it and eat it, but I don't know what it means. Oh, forget it. Somebody else is going to get that one. I'll get this one. Maybe. Stop. Oh. Well, that was fun. And my wrist is okay. So we had a wonderful stream today. I'm so glad you joined us. If you would like to send me a little email, you can, david@boles.tv. You can find me on Twitter and super follow. Oh, yes. Get on an iOS device and super follow me and get some extra special treats. I'm at David Boles on Twitter. On Facebook, I'm BOLES is our business page. Instagram, Boles Books. I can never remember this one. TikTok, Boles TV. I always want to say TMZ, but it's Boles TV, no period, on TikTok. And here's our Discord server if you want to check it out and see how you might join us. Join in our live chat, have some fun. Super easy to join. If you don't know how to join, you need instructions, you need help, just send me a DM on Twitter and I will help you at David Boles. So until tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, I hope you have a wonderful nap, a great sleep, a happy day, and that your soul explodes with all the joy that you deserve. I'll see you tomorrow.